Hello, welcome to episode 299. We're going to be making a jetpack on a stick. I have my jetpack on a stick, so let's try it out. Off I go, using my jetpack. And when I feel like landing, I can look down and just gently fall to the floor. Okay, we're in version 1.19. This is a nice little quick one, I think. But let's make it now. Right, the first thing we need, an objective so we know when we're using the jetpack, or jetpack on a stick. Let's pop down our little setup. Done. Scoreboard, objectives, add, used, I'm going to say, you could say used jetpack, well, you know by now, you can put any name you like. I'm going to say used carrot on a stick, because the carrot on a stick is our jetpack. And it will be of type used carrot on a stick. Done. Boink. There we go. And we better give ourselves one. A give. Give the nearest player carrot on a stick. And all we really need is the custom tag. I'll say Jetpack true, why not? But I give it a display name as well. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. This isn't a very long one today, so we'll put a display name in, just in case someone wants to. Okay, 2 apostrophes. Inside there, we'll put our name. Speech marks, colon, speech marks, text. I just call it Jetpack, because that makes sense. Done. There's my jetpack. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, I can see it. I've got advanced tooltips on, F3 and H. Now they're hidden. Let's look at it again. Now all that extra stuff is gone now. Okay, I'll turn that back on because it can be useful. And let's make the controller. I don't know why I put a button on that, because I don't want a button. I want a lever. There we go. Right, first thing, if they're using the stick, then we want them to fly. So we're just going to do this really simply. We're going to use effects. We're just going to give them levitation. That's all we're going to do. Effect. We give at all players whose scores equals their used carrot on a stick equals 1 or higher. Okay, yep. Levitation for 1 second, because that's the smallest you can do. Amplifier, well, we could set this really high and then just launch off into space. So let's try something about like 4, and we'll hide the particles. Now, I mean, this probably works already, although we're not resetting the used carrot on a stick score, so they will fly away forever. So if I run this now, I will shoot up into the air and I will not come back down. So something like this, it might be worth doing. Tag equals not dev. Now, if you do find yourself shooting up into the air and you're lost forever, give yourself that tag and you're going to come back down again. But I want it to only work when the player is not looking at the floor. So let's check the player's X rotation. So which direction they head. Are they looking up or are they looking down? Not left or right, just up and down. So let's check their X rotation. And we'll check from looking all the way up, which is minus 90. I get the feeling that makes me feel that that's looking down, but then it's looking up to, let's say, 80. So almost to the floor. Okay, done. And now I will put in here scoreboards, players, reset, all players, used carrot on a stick. Done. Now, I am going to put that tag in here. You don't need this tag. This is just for when you're developing to make sure you get it right. I'm going to put that in there just in case. Done. Let's turn it on. Now, I use the carrot on the stick. If I'm facing the floor, I'm right-clicking, nothing happens. If I'm not facing the floor, let's press F3. So we can see in the middle there, facing south towards positive Z, minus 35. And it's that second number, which is 50. So when it gets past 80, so it won't work now. If we go over 80, hey, jetpacking. Okay. It's much better than I thought it would be. I kind of like it, but it's a bit boring. I'm going to add another block. Let's get rid of this one for now. We'll copy that. Control middle mouse. And we'll move it along one. Boink, we'll put it there instead. Let's copy all of this. Copy. And we'll put that over that one. Let's give them slow falling if they're looking down. So what we're going to want here is, so we go to 80, so we'll say to 81 to 90. So if they're not 980, 81 to 90. So if they're looking down, it will give them slow falling now. So that means they can slow down their descent and not take damage. So that's nice as well. Okay, so now instead of having to sort of up like that and make your way down slowly, you can just point down and give yourself slow falling. Nice. Okay. Let's move this block along again. I've already got a copy, so this is our reset. Let's move that along 2 more, and let's get a clean block in here. So is that still resetting? Yes, it is. And we'll have one here. And here I'm going to execute as all players scores equals used carrot on a stick equals 1 or higher. So whenever they're using it at that player, we will run play sound. I want a sort of sound, probably maybe the blaze shooting, or not the ghast because that's a horrible scream. Blaze, maybe. Oh, I know. Blaze or wither. Let's try the wither. That's got a sort of noise. I'm trying to make a noise like a jetpack. I can't. I'm not a jetpack. And we'll play it on the master channel to the player, or to the executor of the command, which we said as anyone with the score at those coordinates, so at that player. And we're going to want it pretty quiet probably, so let's do 0.1 for the volume, 0.1 for the pitch, and a minimum volume of 0. Done. Now I'm going to copy that block, control middle mouse, and put another one down. So we've got exactly the same. And I'm going to remove the end, so we remove the play sound bit. And I'm going to do a particle. But if you're looking down and we're summoning particles at your feet, those particles are going to go right up into your face and you're not going to be able to see very well. So let's not do the particles if the player is facing straight down. So let's do an X rotation check again. X rotation equals -90 to 80. So if they're looking straight down, we're not going to play the particles. You can if you want. You can take that off yourself. Maybe you can play around, obviously. These are just to give you an idea. You change whatever you like. It's your command. We'll do a flame because that makes sense. At the player's feet, but probably let's go down a little bit. Oh no, 0.3 we'll try. We don't want them very big, so let's say 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 on the X, Y, and Z. That's how wide it'll spread out. No motion for flame. I think if you give flame any speed, it goes crazy. We'll try that in a second. Count, probably just about 10 will do. Done. Okay, so now we've got sound and flames. Yeah, okay, that's working pretty cool. I'm not really a fan of the boosty sound when you've got the slow falling. So let's go into this one and copy this rotation bit. Let's copy that, control copy. You could play a different sound when they're falling if you wanted. All you'd have to do would add another command block and check a different rotation. Oh, because we've got 2 commas now. There we go. So that should stop the sound when we're looking down. So now we can fly. if we look straight down and just give ourselves slow falling, it's just nice and gentle. That's a bit better. Let's have a look on F5. Check those. Okay, it's pretty simple, but I have to say I like it quite a bit. Okay, there we go. That's it. Nice short one. We now have a jetpack on a stick. Use it for what you will. If you make any cool changes or anything, you know, show me a link or let me know. Let me know what you add to it. Right, that's it for now. I will see you next time. Take care. I am off to the moon. Bye-bye.